Creating a guest list for an event, especially a wedding, can be one of the trickiest parts of planning. However, who makes the cut? Who do you leave out? What's the best way to handle the inevitable questions and feelings that come with these decisions? With today's edition, we'll help you navigate this dilemma and create a guest list that works for you. Thanks for joining us. Hi, I'm Sal from After Hours Events New England. We'll answer these questions and more in today's edition of the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast.
Welcome to another edition. Hi, I'm Sam from Atmosphere Productions. Listen now and discover tackling your wedding guest list like a pro. Secrets to stress-free planning. These are Wedding Insider secrets for a stress-free, fun, and memorable day. Our podcast helps engaged couples navigate wedding planning complexities while addressing family expectations. We'll guide you through the journey of creating the perfect wedding day without unnecessary stress. By the end of this edition, you'll get concise tips on budgeting, wedding party management, ceremony, reception planning, and more. Perfect for anyone planning a wedding, all in 30 minutes or less. Trust us, you don't want to miss this.
Welcome to Stress-Free Wedding Planning, the podcast that will transform your wedding planning journey from chaotic to enchanting. Sal and Sam bring over 80 years of combined wedding expertise and exclusive insider information to the table. If you're recently engaged, feeling the pressure of wedding planning, struggling with family expectations, but still dreaming of a joy-filled wedding, you've come to the right place. Get ready to unveil the best-kept wedding secrets, discover practical tips and strategies, and learn life-changing lessons for a stress-free wedding. Your unforgettable wedding day awaits. We're here to take you on a transformative journey of love, laughter, and memories. So don't miss out on the podcast that just might change your life. This is the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast with Sal and Sam.
On today's podcast, tackling your wedding guest list like a pro. Secrets to stress-free planning. We'll explain how to decide who makes the cut, the best way to answer those inevitable annoying questions, and how to avoid the drama. Hi, I'm Sal from After Hours Events New England. We specialize in creating unforgettable, stress-free wedding filled with energy, professionalism, and passion. Our goal is to make your big day as special and unique as your love story. Let us bring your vision to life. Visit us at afterhoursevents.com to learn more. Learn more about our experience and journey to help you with stress-free wedding planning in the trailer or pilot of this podcast.
Today, we'll explain how to make those tough decisions and what to do when there's pushback. Hi, I'm Sam from the award-winning Atmosphere Productions, wedding entertainment with expert knowledge and the difference in quality. Visit us at atmosphere-productions.com. Today, tackling your wedding guest list like a pro. Secrets to stress-free planning.
So let's start things off with who you should invite. You have your immediate family, such as your parents. I would imagine you want them to be there, of course. You have your brothers and sisters, always important to have them be part of your day. And those close relatives, there's those aunts and uncles that you feel so close to, and you want them to be there and be part of that very special moment. And you also want to have close friends, those you interact with often and gently support your life and relationship. That is very important. These are the people who bring positive energy and consistently have your back. Positive energy at your wedding is the greatest thing. You always want to stay away from that negativity. Essential plus ones. Look, you want your cousins or your siblings who may be married or may be engaged or have a long-term partner right now to be comfortable at your wedding. So invite them too so they feel very comfortable. And of course, you have your VIPs and mentors. These are childhood friends or anyone who has played a significant role in your life that you are still in contact with. That is very important. Reciprocators. Hey, you've been invited to these people's weddings and these special events, and they feel very close to you. And obviously, you feel close to them. That's why you show up to these things. Make sure you invite them also.
Of course, you're going to make a list of these 5 steps. Your immediate family, your close friends, your reciprocators, your plus ones, and your VIPs. Those are going to be at the top of your list. So if you're having a 200 people wedding reception, fine. You may expand on that. But if you're having a very small wedding reception, then those 5 are going to be very, very important for you to have on your list. So now let's talk about who we shouldn't invite. Long distance relatives. Wow. If you haven't seen your cousin or your aunt or your uncle, maybe they live in a different country, you may not want to invite them. They're not close enough. Old acquaintances. Now, you might have some high school friends that you see occasionally, or college friends who you see on Facebook, but are these really the people that you want to invite to your wedding? Well, yes, if you're having 200 people, you might want to think about that. But if you're having an intimate 75 people wedding reception, what sense does that make? You want to X out those toxic and negative people. Anyone who will bring drama or negativity to your celebration should not even be on the list. Now, this is a touchy one. Work colleagues. There are some people that make great friends at work and hang out with them after work. But unless you're close friends, your work friends should not be mandatory. And that means your boss. Just because that person is your boss does not mean that they need to get an invitation to your wedding. There's something called the obligation invites. Now, don't invite somebody just because you feel you should invite them, i.e., I just mentioned your boss. So these are your parents' friends, distant family members. Somebody that should be on the list doesn't mean to say they have to be on the list.
Sam, toxic people you mentioned, definitely want to stay away from them. But all these other people too, you have to be careful on adding too many people to your list because of the budget. You may put yourself over budget or just really hurt yourself financially. So it is very important to consider on who you shouldn't have and work more on who you should have for a much more comfortable and budget-friendly wedding.
We've just explained tackling your wedding guest list like a pro. Secrets to stress-free planning, such as who and who not to invite.
Coming up next, how to make the tough decisions and what to do when there's pushback. But first, if you have a question or concern, go now to Facebook and join us on the Stress-Free Wedding Planning community and ask away. You can also join us on our YouTube channel. Just search for Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast with Sal and Sam, subscribe, and get it first.
This is the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast with Sal and Sam, a podcast for engaged couples concerned about wedding planning and family expectations, but who want a stress-free, fun, and unforgettable wedding.
Unlock the secrets of a perfect wedding day with our Wedding Tip Wednesday segment. Stay with us for today's Wedding Tip Wednesday. We're here to share essential tips that will help you craft the wedding of your dreams.
On today's Wedding Tip Wednesday, final meeting changes. This is very, very important. Any final meeting changes made with the venue should be passed along to all, underline all vendors that these changes will affect underline before the event. For example, a change in the ceremony location would be essential for all vendors to be updated, correct? If you change the entire seating floor plan, you'll need to notify somebody important. Yes, the DJ, because it affects their setup. That's another wedding tip from Sal and Sam.
Wedding Tip Wednesday is available on the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Facebook group page every Wednesday. Join the group for free.
Experience the magic of your special day with Fitzner Productions, a premier wedding videography company based in Middletown, Connecticut. FitznerProductions.com. Our mission is to capture your love story candidly and authentically, creating stunning, high-quality videos that you can cherish for years to come. Our founder, Carson Fitzner, combines technical expertise with a passion of storytelling, ensuring every moment from the excitement of getting ready to the heartfelt ceremony is beautifully documented. We offer a range of customizable packages, including drone footage and multi-location shoots, tailored to fit your unique vision. Let us help you relive the romance, laughter, and tears of your wedding day. Visit FitznerProductions.com. That's FITZNER Productions.com.
This is the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast with Sal and Sam.
Welcome back to our discussion about tackling your wedding guest list like a pro. Secrets to stress-free planning. I'm Sam from Atmosphere Productions.
And I'm Sal. from after-hours events in New England. We've already discussed who you should and shouldn't invite to your wedding. Now we are going to give you pro tips on how to make tough decisions and what to do when there's pushback. So let's start with making tough decisions. It is important to set a guest limit. You need to know, one, how many people could actually fit in the facility that you've gone with. And you want to make sure you set guest limits too, because you usually come up with these limits because of budget. So you want to keep things under the guest limit so you don't have to worry about going over budget. Create tiers. And what that means is you have your must-have people, should have, and nice to have categories. So this is something you can work with when you try to figure out and keep within those guest limits. And also you want to communicate, be transparent with your family members. They're pushing for additional guests outside your preference. You got to just explain to them why you need to keep the list the way it is, because it's important to your budget. And these are the people that are most important to you. And these are who you want to have at your wedding. Another great thing, and I'm a big fan of this, Sam, is have a no kids rule. Make this a date night for all the couples that are showing up at your wedding. Allow them to have fun and be able to breathe easily and not worrying about keeping an eye on their children. And to be honest with yourself, ask, will I regret it if I invite this person or don't invite this person? So you want to answer that question before the wedding happens, of course, because you don't want to have regrets afterwards.
That's a crucial one, Sal, to be honest with yourself, because being honest with yourself really handles most of the topics that you just mentioned in that section there. You need to be honest on how many guests are going to be coming to your wedding, and don't feel pressured by anyone telling you that you should have this person or not. It's your wedding. Even if your parents are helping you pay for it, they're going to want to add some people in, yes, but they don't have to go overboard. You need to communicate with people who want to tell you what should be done at your wedding. Be honest with yourself and set rules, you and your spouse, so that you can truly have the wedding that you want. That's one of the reasons you and I, Sal, started to do what we do at weddings. We saw so many couples crying or getting upset actually at the wedding because it wasn't their wedding. It was somebody else's wedding, and they were just there as participants. Now, in today's couples, today's modern couples, you can put your foot down. You can actually decide who you want to have at your wedding, what you want at your wedding, what you don't want at your wedding. And yes, those kids' rules are really, really, really important.
Sam, these are all great points. And special communication is very important too. I want to say more about that. You want to communicate with your parents, with your families, with your wedding party, and what your expectations are. You really need to set the guidelines early, because if you don't, this thing's going to get away from you and it's going to be very stressful. Remember, it is your day. It should be your way.
That's your favorite little tagline, but it's absolutely true. Now, what do you do if there's pushback? And you know that there's going to be pushback when it comes to the no kids rule. That's always the one that we see so many couples have. Set boundaries. Explain your reasoning clearly and stick to that decision. Especially with the no kids, you're going to have a point where you may have to compromise and say, okay, my sister can bring her little kids, but any other guests, they cannot. You need to set the boundaries of what you're going to do for your day. As I mentioned with the compromise, finding alternatives of ways to include people is also something that you might want to think that's out of the box. When we had COVID, there was a lot of live streaming that happened, and that was a nice compromise. You may have too many guests that you want to invite, and you're having a very intimate wedding. Why not have a after wedding celebration where you just have one big party and invite a lot of the guests that couldn't be? A lot of couples do this if they're having a destination wedding, for instance. And you might want to delegate. We had a recent wedding tip Wednesday that says never refuse help because it might come in helpful somewhere. Never say no to somebody that offers to help. You might need that help further down the line. So if that pushback does come from your family members, you can obviously delegate and tell them maybe you can help do something to help in this situation. Let them know that you appreciate their input, but the final say rests with the couple. You've already made your decision, and this is the final decision. This is what you're going to stick with. I know a lot of modern couples don't want to do the back and forth and make somebody feel bad, but this is your wedding. Unless you're a millionaire and can afford to invite everybody on your list, there's got to be limitations and there's got to be boundaries put up for you for your own sanity.
Yeah, setting those boundaries are just so important, Sam. And that goes with the delegation part of things too, is you may delegate to have people help you, but you need to make sure that they know the ground rules is you can't make decisions for me. Things really have to come through us to make sure that this is something that we're willing to do. So that's very important. Communication, we've talked about this many times. Communication is key and so important to a successful wedding.
However stressful crafting that guest list is, staying true to yourself and to your vision for your day will ensure that it's surrounded by the right people and, of course, the right energy so that you can have fun.
So there you have it. We've just provided some insider tips on tackling your wedding guest list like a pro. Secrets to a stress-free planning. Finalizing your guest list is no small feat, but focusing on the people who matter the most is paramount. By aligning your choices with your vision, you'll create a day filled with love, joy, and positive energy. Remember, this is your celebration. Surround yourself with those who uplift you and make the moment truly unforgettable. Trust your instincts and your guest list will fall into place beautifully.
Now, as you spend the next week planning your wedding, if you want me, Sal, or our community of stress-free engaged couples and wedding experts to answer any wedding-related questions, then join us in the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Facebook group.
Once you're in, go ahead and share your concerns and worries, and we'll let you know if you're on the right track or if there are some things you need to work on. The link to join us is in the show notes of this edition, or go to Facebook and search for the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Community.
Remember to do something nice for someone today. And if you can't, then do something nice for yourself. If you've enjoyed what you've just heard, leave a review and share it with a friend or someone who would benefit from this information. Until next time, it's TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
Thank you for listening to this edition. A new edition is released every Wednesday. Subscribe and get it first. We'll catch you then. Ciao.
The Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast is produced and copyrighted by Atmosphere Productions in association with After Hours Events of New England.